baby, never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stressed. Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, I was by the stove. Big inside this cases once do me dirty, I'ma find you lay your out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself, rather do this alone. I wasn't asking for no help, they keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said broski you a star. I said brother hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting busy. Now they see me out in public and be known what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been on my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just to stunt while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now these wanna data. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
Bring out the Brinks truck, I'm young, flying ice up. 100-yard dash, I had to run my price up. Boss your life up, I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, you know these checking for me in the DMs, getting for me. I ain't even took $1 out my pocket and the still shaking for me. And I'm frosted like Tony in the club with the owner. I can walk on water, pop it like. Hey, when you on top, go hate on you, that what they supposed to do. I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this would be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
I remember talking with a scout about him, and he said, you know, I love the fact that he was a high school basketball player. He does so many things with his legs to keep plays alive, but he did the same thing as a basketball player, kind of a point guard, knows where the ball's supposed to go, and knows how to deliver it to the open man.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And he slings one that's incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Set, 319.
And they'll run it here. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, here we go. 3-19.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. So opening drive, third down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a three-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. It's Darnold. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Set! Blue 90!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Darnold. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Darnold from the gun. Completion left side to Miller. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
All right, here we go. Green!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 0-0 our score. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Here's Darnold. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. This a 43-yard attempt. Oh, nope, never had a chance. Well to the right, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll set up a throw to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And now out comes Houston. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is taken at the 18. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here on a late flag as well.
Personal foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Looking to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there from 8 yards out. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Check 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Here's Darnold now on second down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, it's Darnold. Over the middle, complete. That's Cannon. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. So we have, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Well, they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They ended up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now the backup Kaiser to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Kaiser. Wide open receiver complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. From the gun, Kaiser. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
On 3rd down, Barry. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On second down, Scott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. From the gun on 3rd down. Barry is going to find Hill here. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. This quarterback now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a first down. Here's Scott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Barry, and his throw is incomplete. Amara Darboh, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
From the gun on 3rd down. Barry. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ryan Grant, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Lutz with the extra point. And it's now 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kaiser again. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And no, it's incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On play action, Kaiser. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
There to stop him on the tackle, Jack Sitchie.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? 4th down, Kaiser, desperation time. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, Plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Kaiser now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Dontari Poe breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw, Kaiser. And this is caught at the 8. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'll be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans cut into that lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Houston,
tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I roll now, no reason to doubt. It's clear to see, all eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy does it. In public, hated and love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. Just the glamour life, you still not a player. You ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, super duper fly. Juicy, keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping. See you at the crossroads.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, he already dead. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could tell me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the. I'm a player on the late night till. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. Check the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still feel me, kiss the death, friend protect your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss the death, friend protect your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, he already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 96. You a shook one, breathe easy, know the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a, here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah, the mother ride or die for my, strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm indeed cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? They're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique in Bucktown. This on that quiet storm. T-O-N-Y. Top of New York with a pitchfork. disappointing. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go.
I spent the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that white on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you. All of these, my body, I got paid somebody, keep checking my pose. Walk in the club with no warning, take care of the money, they swing on the. Water on me like the sunny, I shine when it's sunny, just platinum and rose. Gonna out the street when I go to DC, I'ma see the mo.
Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go.
Crazy different city with some different. I can switch my the same way that I change my clothes. Man, it's crazy. I'm broke and envelope. And you know I'm never lacking. Gotta do it, that's up in traffic. Water on my paddock. In automatic, I drink water when I'm fasting. Use a ass, on me and I can't have it. Boy, I'm from average. Better wait your turn, better get in line.
Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another.
Tryna spend the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that white on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you.
Honorable C notes.
Yeah.
Buddha
Yeah.
blesses me.
Chill. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Cats and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about folks now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, that sell it. Free mind. Cash them out, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer. Straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element. Out my element. My the same. Don't need no clout, no fame. No clout. Bought the game. All brand new chain. I swerve the lane. Call the group the gang.